Hello and welcome to my exercise regime. We're really going to focus on body alignment, very, very important, so we can be happy and healthy and have joints that don't hate us when we get older. Let's get started. So coming to all fours into tabletop position. Taking a few deep breaths here. Engaging your core, making sure there's no swaying in the back, but the spine is neutral. Rolling your shoulders back and down. And then just like a cat, pawing the ground. So you're getting your wrists and your fingers warm and the juices in those joints flowing. All right, now let's just get into it. Let's create a little bit of fire in our core. So tucking your toes under, you're going to lift your knees up off the ground about an inch. The real question is, can I talk and do this? So really engaging your core, feeling a slight tuck in the pelvis. Let's take 5 deep breaths here. More. Make sure you're lengthening through your neck and that there's no tension there. Last one. Push back into downward facing dog. Now this is a super simple pose. You do it in like every yoga class, but let's break down what's happening in our bodies. Now, if you're like me and you have tight shoulders, don't be afraid to widen your hands. Pushing into our toe pads, our finger pads, and I guess our toe pads. Making sure that your rib cage isn't splaying open, but your rib tips and your hip tips are connected. And you kind of want to think about this opposition happening where your ribs are going towards your hips, but you're also trying to push your butt out. And that's where you're going to get that beautiful stretch in your hamstring. Now, if you're dying already, you're doing it right. Let's come into a chaturanga. So coming to a plank, lowering down, pushing into a baby cobra. Nothing too crazy, making sure your core is engaged, you're not sinking into your joints. Tucking the toes under, pushing back into downward facing dog. And we're going to lift the left leg on an inhale. Yeah. Now making sure as we're here that you're not opening up your hips, but we want to square them off for the moment. Keeping your core engaged. This one for me, I tend to let my back go, so think about it. Engage your core. We're going to bring knee to nose, contracting, and back up. One more time, knee to nose. We're going to come into a nice lunge. 90-degree angle, lengthening in the back leg. I like to use my hands and push on my quadricep just so I can feel the stretch and the squaring off of my hips. Deep breath. Lifting arms up. All right, so placing our hands together. I like to do this gun thing, and you can press them together just for extra balance. You're going to put the weight in your front leg, and you're going to use all of these beautiful muscles and push off your back leg to come up into like a passe, and try to not tip over. We're gonna do that 5 times. Here we go. Wow. 1. Making sure to breathe. And I like to breathe in, and then on the exhale, coming up. 3 more. I don't know why, but pushing my hands together gives me better balance. All right, last one. Here we go. Up. And slowly lower back to this lunge. Hands on your mat. Coming back into a plank. Pushing back into downward dog. Other side. Here we go. Lifting up the right leg. Making sure your hips are square. Bringing knee to nose. On the exhale, knee to nose. Coming in to a lunge. Placing your hands on your quadricep, pushing down, feeling your hips squaring off, your core engaged. And breathe. All right. Gun hands, Charlie's Angels. Here we go. Pressing off the back leg, engaging all of these gorgeous muscles to help you balance. Here we go. Leaning forward and up. Can hear my squeaky yoga mat. I think that was 4. 1 more. Lunge. Oh. Trying not to fall over. And then we're going to place our knee on the ground. I'm just going to do a gentle stretch. So, pushing your hips forward without opening them. So you're trying to stay squared off so you can get this stretch on your quadricep and on your hip flexor right here, maybe a little bit up here. So you may not go down very far because you're trying to keep your hips squared, but it's about the stretch, not about the look. So let's breathe. You can do little hands on the ground with your fingers if you'd like. Coming back up to lunge, and we're going to rotate and open into Warrior 2. I'm already out of breath. So making sure that your heel is in alignment with the arch of your back foot. 90-degree angle, and if you want to get the most out of Warrior 2, you want to think of bumping your hip back a little bit. Obviously, You don't want your body to follow, but just a little bump back and then a pushing of the knee towards your back wall. Okay, let's breathe. I need to breathe. Whew. Let's take 10 breaths here so we can really feel the burn. Here we go. 1. Engagement, engagement, engagement of the arms. I think we're at 3 more. All right. Breathing in, reaching forward to reverse warrior 2. Straightening that front leg, bumping the hips back, and you're going to come into fallen triangle. So even though this pose is static, we're still engaged and active in our core, in our legs, in our arms, in our back. And then we're going to come down, and you know, it might not be pretty, but do your best to get there. And we're just going to stretch this out. Yes. And we're going to switch to the other side. Now you can use your hands, walk, or if you want to come with me, see if you can do it with no hands. Then we're going to come up into this stretch. We're going to come into this stretch, squaring off the hips, pushing forward. Ooh, feeling it right there. This is another static pose where you're not necessarily moving, but there's still energy and activeness throughout your body. All right, coming up to a lunge. Rotating that back leg. Warrior 2. Here we go. So remember, bumping the hip back just a little bit, keeping this engaged, pushing the knee towards your back wall. 10 breaths. Here we go. Feeling engagement in your back and your shoulders as you reach your arms, energy shooting out the tips of your fingers. Three more. Taking a deep breath in, reaching forward to reverse your warrior, straightening the front leg, bumping the hips back, fallen triangle. Feels so good. All right, rotating that back leg into a lunge, pushing back into downward facing dog. Take some deep cleansing breath here. Maybe thank yourself for doing this practice, getting sweaty, exercising. We're gonna chaturanga down. push up into cobra. And try not to sink into your shoulders and let your belly go. We want to be active in our shoulders, and our core is also active. Push back into downward facing dog. We're gonna do, you can come down for a second. We're gonna do some push-ups in downward dog. Now, if you don't have the most flexible hamstrings, then you can use a sofa or a chair to put your feet on. Other than that, here we go. I can only do like 3 or 4 of them. If you can do more, go for it. So we're coming into downward facing dog. You're going to go on your tippy toes and walk your feet forward. The closer your feet are to your hands, the harder it will be. And widen your hands a little bit. Your elbows are going to be going out. Let's take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, you're just going to do a little push up. How did that feel? Core engaged, neutral spine. Let's do 5 of them. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Coming to our knees. Putting your knees about the same width as your yoga mat, and you're just gonna come down into child's pose. Deep breaths. Enjoy this moment. And then looking forward, coming up, we're going to sit with our feet touching. Now I know a lot of the time the goal is to bring heels to crotch and push your knees down, but we're gonna do something a little different. We're going to create a wide diamond, and you're going to grab your ankles, your calves, whatever you can reach, and we're going to take a deep breath in, and we're going to pull our chest through our arms. And then on the exhale, it's like somebody punched you in your belly button. You're going to use your core to contract. You're going to go back on your pelvis. So it's almost like an ab workout. Your hands will probably slide to your knees. Thinking of your spine doing the curve and not your shoulders. And then breathing in, pulling your chest through. And then on the exhale, somebody punched you in the gut, scooping and creating that curve. Ooh, I'm doing it with my shoulders. Spine. Breathing in. Chest forward. Exhale. Contract. Let's do it 3 more times. Core is active. Breathing in, coming through. And on the exhale, scoop. Last time. Feeling that scoop. Now, we're going to stay here in this scooped position, making sure that we aren't gripping in our hip flexors, that it's all our core working. And we're just going to lift our arms above our head and lower. And lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift. If you're shaking, you're doing it right. Lift and hold. Hold and come up. Beautiful. Coming to easy pose, let's take a deep breath in. If you want, you can close your eyes or do a soft focus, placing your hands on our knees or wherever is comfortable. Catching our breath. It's very important to exercise and take care of our body. And I think it's just as important to take care of our mind and our thoughts. So as we sit here and breathe, let's give our body positive energy, positive thoughts. I always like to start with gratitude. What am I grateful for? Because thoughts of gratitude can be very, very powerful. And let's take a moment to give ourselves some love and appreciation for doing this workout. For doing another one tomorrow, because it's all about consistency. Taking a deep breath in, raising your arms above your head, and on the exhale, folding forward. Up, opening your eyes. You did it. Thank you. If you liked this kind of workout, my mix of yoga and dance and Pilates, then please like and subscribe and join me again tomorrow.